And welcome back. We are here with Monica Yankee. Monica, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
You have some great products. I'm going to have you start and tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got started, and then we're going to talk about all the different things that you have.
Excellent. Well, welcome to Muschies World. I'm out of Rochester, Michigan. I use a lot of local organic ingredients to make my products, and I've made it my life mission to teach people simplicity, which means that if you get your nutrition from whole foods, it can't get any better. And then I make it absolutely delicious. I'm proud to support many local Michigan businesses in making my products. I use a local honey, local grade B maple syrup, local whole grain spelt flour out of Okemos, Michigan, and Traverse City cherries, blueberries, and cranberries. I do 6 different varieties. I started with the foundation, which is my granola. I add no salt to any of my products, and I think my packaging is very unique. And my latest creation are my granuffles, which is something I trademarked and I think is going to put Michigan on the map across the United States.
I have to look at this, the granoffles. They look wonderful. And you've had a lineup here of people trying them because we've had to keep trying to get in and get the interview, and I think that's wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you. It's amazing. They have 70 calories apiece. They are, again, no salt in any of my products. Same philosophy, organic grains, nuts, seeds, and fruit. I will do them seasonally. So these are 4 different varieties, which is a cranberry orange, a fig pistachio, a cherry almond, and a blueberry with lemon. And they are dipped in my own blend of 70% bittersweet chocolate, and they are so amazing that your mouth is going to have a taste explosion. You won't feel, you don't have to feel guilty. They'll taste so good that you think you have to be, but you don't, because they're absolutely good for you.
Well, and where do you just come up with ideas like that or decide I'm going to start making my own granola? You know, because that's a lot of work. There has to be a driving force there.
A lot of people have dreams of, of doing something, and I was one of those people. I started working at Merchant of Vino when I first moved to the city. I grew up in a very small town in the North Country, which is where a lot of my values came from. We did live off the land. We did have our own gardens. We did support local economy, by buying our meats off the farm. And so this was the way I was raised. And I felt really privileged to survive long enough to be able to see things come full circle and to now see the city people recognizing the quality, the difference of quality, and how supporting local benefits everyone. And so it's my privilege to be a part of that movement. And I started making these quite like the stories you hear on TV. I got pregnant. I was working. I met Mark, who owned the Breadwinner Bakery. It was a health food bakery. I left my career in food, went to work with him, raised my son to be a healthy eater, and I started making these and taking them home, and his friends would say, "These are the best ever." And he said, "Why don't you sell them at the bakery?" And I was like, well, hello. It's kind of obvious, and I did. My second year at Farmers Market, which I must tell any entrepreneur out there, is your best opportunity to get exposure for your products. And we can talk more about that another time, but really support your local markets, and if you have an idea, that's the best place to meet other people like you and to get good exposure. But my second year doing the market, I was selling 206 hours, saran wrapping with cheap white Avery labels, and I thought I was the cat's meow. And that was the beginning. And I walked into a store, they gave me a chance. 3 years later, I met Becky DeYoung of Michigan Product Center. I was doing Henry Ford Hospital. You meet people, you connect, you work together, and last year I took first place at this show in new product development, and I'm back here supporting new people. So that's kind of how it all started, by accident.
Well, and when I look too, I'm just going to have you kind of give us an overview of the different products because you have a lot of diversity in the products you make.
Yes, I do. Okay. We will start the granola bar. Well, basically it starts with the granola, which is what I call the foundation of everything I do. Everything I do comes in at around 110 calories an ounce, which is a pretty straightforward, like good number. If you compare me to like Cheerios or something, without the dried fruit added, they come in at 2 grams of sugar, which is phenomenal. The remaining sugar comes from the dried fruits, which still is 6 grams, which again is phenomenal. They consist of organic grains, nuts, seeds, and fruits, and the fruits are what are going to always change in things. So the base is the granola, then it evolves into the granola bars. And the granola bars, when I designed them, again, the packaging was very cutting edge, never been done before, but I had certain quality standards that I refused to lessen. And that was no preservatives, no chemicals, no added vitamins, no gas injection, and so I came to vacuum sealing. So our product is all hand rolled. We vacuum seal it the day it's made, which is why it will be soft and chewy when you open it instead of hard, because that's the way it should be. They're in a Ziploc bag. They are 5-ounce bars, which is why I put them in a Ziploc so you don't have to eat the whole thing, but if you do, it will function as an entire meal replacement and provide you with 6 to 8 hours of sustained energy, honestly.
That is wonderful to hear the story and to see all the diversity of the products. And Monica, I so appreciate it. Keep up the great work. Folks, if you get the opportunity, visit us on MichiganFarmandGarden.com. We will link to Monica and the company. You can go ahead, try your own products, but just another innovative company that we have right here in the great state of Michigan. Stay tuned. We'll be back right after this message.